All right. I hope you guys can hear me. I'm having mic problems. So if you can't hear me, let me know. See if we can get anybody on here for a second. Little delay on coming on because my mic decided it didn't want to work no more. So I'm hoping it's working now. I hope. I don't know what to do if it's not. So if you can hear me or if I'm just trying to lip read me, let me know. Is there any volume? Hopefully you guys can hear me. I hope. Because other than that, I don't know why my mic wouldn't be working. Got 6 people on. Oh, good. Right before I went on there, Steamer, it popped up and said there's no mic. So I was a little bit worried. Greg and Rebecca Hezlet? I'll probably slaughter that name. What are we going to talk about today? What do you guys want to talk about today? I can talk about a lot. I know we had some units shut down over in Arizona that couple guides shut down. I heard a rumor that they killed uh, 6 sows in one day. Not just from one person. I heard it again today at a gas station from another guy. So them guys are out there making money, shutting down units in Arizona. Where's everybody from? Where were you from, Steamer? Who else is in here? Say hello so I know who's here today. I have a feller from uh, North Carolina, I believe, named Bryson coming on. We'll get him fired up about DNR and Colorado, and he was supposed to go to Colorado and hunt. And there's Missy, and I don't know where he's at yet. So you guys got to deal with me for a little bit talking about people shooting sows. I'm not a big sow shooter if I don't have to. She has to be really old. So I try my hardest not to shoot little bears and sows. So definitely little bears and definitely sows. Sows give us our next year's crop. I've let a lot of sows go. Tennessee. How's the weather everywhere? It's still warm here. I'm in North Arizona, so it's not cactuses and 120 degrees like down by Phoenix. I try not to kill the females. You know, I've seen some real old females, no teeth. That's about it, though. So, but oh, Brett Vaughn's over there with Johnny, Uncle Papa Johnny in New Mexico hunting lion. They just sent me a picture. We'll be hearing about them stories pretty soon. If any of you guys join us on the Monday Night Lives with Brett and Nicholas and uh, Johnny Johnson, or I think it's his name, Johnny. Uncle Papa Johnny has a YouTube channel, and old George off Mountain Music and Mules. He catches a lot of bear. I wish I catch a lot of bear. That bear out here, there's not a lot of food this year. I don't know how everybody else is doing, but there definitely isn't a lot of acorns this year. We drove around. We even walked in today to a big bull. We caught 2 bears in Sunday. There's a lot of bear scat and more acorns than I've seen anywhere else, or acorns for you back Easterners. But we did not get nothing. I did get to watch my young dogs work really good. I have one young dog coming up. His name's Ben, and he's doing really good. So, but one of the units that are here it usually stays open for the whole year, and it's shut down too. So, and they killed 1 sow out of my unit I usually hunt in, and it's only a 2 sow quota. So I'm pretty sure they're going to shut that unit down as well here in the next week or two. I imagine, especially if that guy's in there killing anything he can. 6,000 one day, but he has a bunch of hound guys and a bunch of guys with binoculars running around finding stuff for him. So it wouldn't hurt my feelings if they ended guiding, but probably a communist thing to say. It is about the money with them guides. And I'll get Bryson on here as soon as he logs on, if he can log on, and we'll talk a lot of crap about everything. What has everybody got going on in their state? I know Colorado's doing a ballot initiative on using hounds, and it's not looking really good. I don't think those ballot initiatives aren't. They're not real good. You know, you got 5% of the population that hunts, and you got a lot of the voters aren't really hunters sometimes, and they just vote for color. And that's about it, blue or red. They don't, you know, they look at those headlines, and if it says save, you know, conserve all your mountain lions or bears, they're going to vote for it because it sounds real good. So Missy offered to send me some hazelnut. I've never had hazelnuts. She said they're going to blow my mind. So I can't wait. Can't wait. Louisiana. So are you guys allowed to hunt bear there in Louisiana? I got to get you on. So, or you don't have a season, or is it a dog season you're talking about, or a bear season in general? Oh, so you have nothing. How many bears? Do you know how many bears they project are in that state? I know Arizona, it's always bounce around 2,500, 3,000, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know how they come up with some of these numbers sometimes. I know we projected 25 to 3,500 mountain lion. 2,500. That's what we got, I believe. I'd have to look it up. That's so that's enough for bear season. I wish they would open a pursuit season in Arizona. And I've talked to game and fish and commissioners and people that make a difference, should make a difference. I've talked to them about it. So they say they're going to, and I know there's a lot of houndsmen that they'd pay $200, $500 for a pursuit. You know, and I think they're shutting down their they're shutting down the spring season quite a bit. I think lottery, like a draw. Got to put in. We had a draw for spring bear. So you put in for your draw, your lottery, whatever, for spring bear. So, oh, let's see. Yeah, we're out. We went out hunting this morning. I got home and tried to edit some video and fell asleep in my chair. Pennsylvania isn't going to let you run hounds during regular bear and deer, and that's on anything including coyote. Yeah, they I think them hounds mess up them deer, but I don't know. Oh, we in Arizona, Sonny Martinez joining us. In Arizona, they had a spring hunt. I don't follow the spring much because they don't run dogs. They don't let you run dogs, but I mean that's a. I think they should let you run dogs in spring so you can get them in the tree and see if they're sour or not because it's you can't kill a bear with a sow with cubs or a cub with a sow. It used to read you couldn't kill a sow with cubs, so legally you could kill the cubs. So they had to reword that because I'm sure there's a bunch of dummies out there that would shoot a cub. I try not to shoot nothing. I mean, it'd have to be a real special reason. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? I had to replug my microphone back in. It does this weird thing sometimes. I should have restarted my computer. I seen that, Sonny, from Carl Boykin. I seen that you got a hound puppy from that. So that's a pretty neat deal. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Can you hear me, Missy? Can you guys hear me now? Good. Bringing grizzlies in. I didn't like the wolves. There's a reason they were eradicated in the first place. The same with grizzlies. The ranchers don't like it. And they're not going to say much to Game and Fish because they're trying to get their money out of their kills. And then they got to prove it's a kill. It's just a big kind of dumb process. So, but the federal government said we need wolves and told Game and Fish, Arizona Game and Fish, literally, you're going to take the wolves. You're either going to work with us or you're not going to be part of it. So obviously they had to join hands and be part of it so they didn't get thrown out of it. I'm sure they get some money out of it. So Sonny got his hound puppy for his son. So Carl Boykin does a Great American Hound giveaway. So I have I have some new accidental puppies, and where she was at, there really could only been one male that got her, and I didn't mind that. I've crossed them 100 times before, but they came out kind of small, and they got funny looking heads, and I thought maybe they just premature because she's a little old. She's not real old, but just a little older. Maybe, I don't know what happened. And she lost a lot of weight on this one, and I told my son, I said, man, they're really small. I think maybe they're premature. Shoot, I don't know. And he goes, man, maybe those are roosters. Rooster is a mini border collie that my son's girlfriend has. And I said, you think? And he says, hey, Rooster. Rooster runs over there and exact same head as that collie. So I think I got me some good squirrel dogs. They're actually really good pups. They look really houndy, but they're just small. So maybe I'll sell them for $1,800 a piece as a mini hound. They sell all other kinds of junk. So Sonny looking for a good coon dog. So he could train his dog. He's got to get out there. In Arizona, there's not a lot of raccoons or good raccoon spots. Not a lot at all. There are some, but not a lot. Not like Oklahoma or back east where they got 40-pound raccoons running all over the place. So anyhow. So yeah, it was a nice conversation. Talk to her about dogs, and I'm not sure she has a big understanding of dogs either. I talked to her for a while there, and kind of made her blush because she asked who I was, and I told her my name, and she goes, yeah, she told me her name. I said, oh yeah, I know. And she said, how do you know? I said, well, because you're the cute hound girl everybody talks about. So she blushed real bad, and kind of embarrassed her, I guess. But that's what everybody goes to tell her. Hey, the cute wolf girl. I might have said hound. Cute wolf girl runs around. I'm having microphone problems tonight. I literally sat here all set up. Got a new charger for my GoPro that puts out a higher ampage because it wouldn't keep. Well, when I'm on with Brett on our Monday Night Live, the battery. If you guys ever seen Back to the Future, where the picture starts to fade, that's what my camera does. I'll start to fade and then it'll go black. So hopefully this will work. I have go to Louisiana hunting. I have the Elon Musk Starlink. And man, it don't impress me too much. I get a lot of glitching when I'm doing my uploads. stuff. So Brarely Mason, you been out doing any hunting, Mr. Brarely? Is that how you say your name, Brarely? Oh, there's Bryson decided to join us tonight. Let me see. Let me get Bryson on here. There he is.
How's
How's
it
your
going,
internet,
man?
Parker?
Do what?
How's your internet tonight?
Working pretty good so far.
I lost my microphone for a little bit. Right before I got on, too, it shut off. I had to restart everything. And I can't restart my laptop right now because I'm in the middle of editing a video. And when I do that, it has to reload and it takes forever. Because this is from 2 weeks ago. I haven't posted in a couple weeks, but this is from 2 weeks ago. I went out for 5 days, so I have like 7 hours of video I have to comb through. So I'll have a couple videos, and then I went today, made another video, and then I went this weekend, made another video. So I just got to catch up on editing. So,
Just piling them up, I see.
if I can get them piled up and schedule them all out, then I can go hunting some more and be ahead for once. Probably won't happen though.
Well, what's our topic tonight?
Talking about crappy internet right now. Louisiana, he almost has dial-up. If you got kids and they're young, play them that dial-up music, that the fax machine, and they won't know what it is. So I told them you'd be on. I told everybody you'd be on so you can talk crap about DNR and Colorado and all the crappy stuff going on with our hounds.
Don't think we have enough time for that.
Death by 1,000 cuts. And a lot of people, and when they're coming out with this, they come out with this when everybody's hunting, is what it is. So it's real tough for us. There's rowdy houndsman. He'll talk some shit, but it's tough for us to go to these meetings and go to all this stuff going on because it's the fall. We're all hunting in the fall.
Yep.
I'm lucky to have 17 people on here. I'm lucky being here. I couldn't do it last week because I was out hunting and I didn't have enough service. I thought about trying it, but then I'd have to beep out every other word. So I'm always afraid that it's going to shut off and you guys will still be able to hear me and you're going to hear me go off. So Brett says he has a redhead temper. And I got a lot of red in my beard. So I got that temper.
Well, which state you want to start with first?
What's going on in North Carolina? Anything new?
Well, so far they are changing the season next year. They're opening it up sooner, and they've told us that they want us to start harvesting more sows. But the main goal for that really is just for their deer population. This is the only thing it's boiled down to. A lot of bear hunters are not happy about it. They were happy with what they had, and they really don't want to see it longer. I think we're gaining it's close to 2 weeks extra. They're shortening the second part of the season, but they're going to extend the first part back. And it's still natural bait first season. They talk like they might put it into the second part of the season, but I think they're just going to keep it into the first, which natural bait's just like peanuts, some kind of nut or acorn that's can be grown around here pretty much.
What are them bears eat them peanuts really good? Whoa.
Yeah, they do out on the coast because there's a lot of peanut farms.
Oh, gotcha. So are they having problems out there with them coming in and destroying their crops?
Yeah, they usually do, but their seasons are still pretty short. I mean, they're not like what we have out here on the west side of the state. So, I mean, it's pretty good. So I think ours open up Monday and it goes on, I think the week before Thanksgiving and it ends. And then it opens back up somewhere around the 13th of December and it goes on to the first of the year. And then it ends. Now, next year, it's supposed to open the Saturday closest to October 1st. And then I I want to say it ends around the same time, but December moves back a week and then goes to the beginning of the year. They're trying to change it for the rut of the deer that we have here, just so that way we can try to get more mature bucks in there breeding.
Mm. They don't let you run deer or bear or hounds when you got a deer season open? Do they do that too?
Not the first season, no. It's pretty much closed down. I mean, I think that you can still bow hunt. I'm not a big deer hunter to really look into it much. I know muzzleloader's really short and rifle's really short, but I think it goes back into bow season. If someone's on here that knows, please comment and let me know. But I just never really looked into it much. But it pretty much shuts down as far as I know. I know here in Georgia too, even when they have that quota hunt, they shut down everything on those two WMAs, and it's strictly dogs. Now the national forest that surrounds it is open for bow, but I mean it's pretty much
What
it.
is
But you're be on national
what is
forest.
what is your WMA?
We've got a few just right here. We got Swallows
What is
Creek. We
that?
got
What is
what?
WMA? Is that like
Oh, wildlife management area.
oh, gotcha.
So we've got in Georgia, we have WMAs, which is wildlife management areas, and then we have national forests, which is basically public land.
Yeah.
And then you go to North Carolina. I want to say there's a WMA or two. I'm not real sure, but not really in my area. But it's mostly public land, which is still national forest, and then we have bear sanctuaries.
So we have wilderness. So can you have motorized vehicles on that, or is it set across like aside for nothing? You have to walk in or horse, mule.
It really depends. Like mostly where I hunt, it's all on foot. Like the only traffic you can do is as far as you can drive to the gate. But the gates are usually closed. They're hardly ever open. I know if you go towards the middle of the western part, like go northeast, there's some places back in there where you can actually run. We went during training season a couple of weeks ago. We went and rode around side by sides and tried it out. And it was nice. You can catch up to them really quickly, but I mean, they have trails everywhere. But I mean, they're so worn out, you have to have one of them buggies just to get back in there. If you took a truck, I mean, you'd be going to get some pain medicine, get your back worked on, get your neck worked on. I mean, it's just a rough area.
Yeah, in our wilderness, you're not allowed to take nothing on there. You can ride a bike, but no motorized at all. I like it. I got mules, so I'll ride in. I don't care. So you have to ride in, walk in. It's great for me, but it don't work out for illegal aliens coming across, because down on the border right here in the res, they just drive them cars straight across. So on a lot of those wilderness, you'll find a bunch of broke down cars over there that they drove as far as they could and just stopped. So
it's foot traffic the rest of the way.
Yep. Good deal. I heard Louisiana, he was up here saying they're trying to do a season over in Louisiana now.
For what?
Bear. There's no.
I know Alabama's got a few, and Mississippi's got some too. I didn't think that they made it over into Louisiana yet.
Right there. We were supposed to be getting a bear season. And he says there's 2,500 bear there. So I don't know why they wouldn't have a bear season.
So it's probably more on the eastern side of the state, because I know, like I said, they got them in Mississippi. I want to say that since New Mexico and all that's become, they've been coming into Texas too. I think last time I checked, there were at like 50-something bears just in Texas.
That's crazy. To hear about a bear in Texas, yeah, really open.
But from what I understood, they were just poor. Like they're not very big. I'm not saying like they're probably not poor and thriving or anything, but I mean, they're tough. They'll do whatever it is they got to do, but they're I mean, I think they've got everything they need to just overpopulate anything else. Just the same as if you would if you didn't get on with mountain lions, but a lot of people will just take away, like you saying, death by 1,000 cuts. They'll take away little by little.
It's what they're doing in Colorado, right?
Yep.
But they've tried it in Arizona, and they just do their big circles, and they go in circles and just keep hitting each state until they catch someone off guard. It's just like a thief going in a parking lot. He'll just keep filling the door handles till he hits one that's unlocked.
Exactly.
There we go. I'll take a 600-pound bear. Corn fed and fat. That's roadkills. Could you imagine hitting a 600-pound bear with a Honda Accord or Toyota Corolla?
It hurt.
Man. Them elk destroy semis, but they destroy these, even a 3/4-ton truck running down. My buddy just hit a deer Sunday with his Tundra, and it wiped his old bumper out. So there's going to be a lottery. Lottery's like a draw, I imagine. We call it a draw here in Arizona.
If their state is anything like Georgia is with their WMA, the only advice I can give you is if you're going to do it, you apply every year. We've applied for the last, what was it? Well, it's been going on 5 years now, and we've only been invited. We haven't even got picked. So it's been a battle. But we've got guys that's been in there every year for the last 5 years. And the first 3, they weren't even taking points away from them until the 4th year. And then they started making a fuss about it. But, I mean, that lottery system, to me, just doesn't work. It's not fair to everyone else. I mean, they said a lot of locals got in this year, but I mean, I'm more pushing towards the National Forest of public land hunting with hounds than anything, and I try to get that across to them, but they won't listen to reason. Me and you talk to people that they just want to run them off or do what they have to do to get rid of them. People here hate them. I mean, they don't want them. It's not like me and you. I mean, we care about them, obviously. Yeah. We eat them. We use that. We use whatever. But you guys,
I just spent all day yesterday bottling a whole bear. So
it's a lot of work.
The rich donors will get. So Arizona, I think they do more. They're supposed to. I think they're only supposed to do. Brierley could probably know a little bit about this, but they're only supposed to do 10% out of staters. But when I'm paying $25 for a bear tag, and out of staters are paying $150 for a bear tag, where are they going to make their money?
They're going to pick whoever state is the most expensive.
It's all about the money. It's all about the money. And I understand.
Like over here, so like for me to get my license in North Carolina, just to even guide, I mean, it's ridiculous because I booked 3 people for next year. Mm-hmm. And I called them back with the prices of their license. And I told them, I said, boy, I'm awfully jealous of you. I said, your license is $95 cheaper than mine. They said, well, do you have other fees or something you got to pay? I said, I'm not even including my guide fees. I said that I have to pay yearly. I said, y'all just get it cheaper. I said, I am the most expensive state, and I live 20 minutes from the state, and they won't give me one. I have to pay over $500 a year just to go hunt.
What is your guide? Our guide license is $300.
I want to say by the time I'm done paying for my license and everything, I think it's right over $700 for everything.
Wow.
But I don't know how y'all's is. Do y'all have to go through like a class or whatever else to do yours?
You take a test. You take a 50-question test, and if you just pay it every year, you only take the test once. But if you don't pay, say you don't pay it, and you come in middle of the year to get it, like you don't do it by the end date, December 31st or whatever it is, 15 days, then you have to retake the test. Pretty simple. I mean, that's not including your insurance. Insurance is $1,500 a year, and then all your forestry fees for your permits on the forestry, which is a joke. I don't. That's absolutely a scam in my book, but it is what it is.
Well, like with ours, I mean, most of them just ask for a waiver. That's pretty much it. I mean, if you sign your life away, I mean, at that point, it's all you.
Yeah.
But probably the hardest part with it all is just trying to wade through everything that they need you to do, which it ain't really hard. You just got to re-up like your CPR and everything else. But I mean, other than that, you can go in there and get yours for nothing. So like they say, like because we do fly fishing too, and since the hound thing's been going, I really ain't done much fly fishing, but I still had to pay that extra money just to go do fly fishing.
Yeah.
But they don't really mind if you have that or not. You just basically sign a waiver and you're pretty much good to go. Because I mean, it's kind of common sense, you know. I'm not liable for this or whatever else. It's all on you. You're the one that agreed to this. Let's go hunt. But even like after, say, like a client harvests something, like the bear tag or whatever, you have to call it in, send in your teeth by yourself. You don't have to go check it in or anything else. You can somewhat weigh it and go on, but they even want you to put like if you have a guide, you had to put the guide number in just to get it to go through register.
Wow. See, if our client kills a bear, he's responsible to check it in. It's all on him.
Well, yeah, he checks it in, or he or she or whoever takes it, whether I guide them or not. I mean, but if I'm there, I don't know if they really have to, but I give it to them and they just go on. Your mic's dead again.
Can you hear me now? Yeah, good. I don't know what it's doing. I didn't restart my computer. I should have done it probably. Oh. Anyway, I got to unplug it and plug it back in, and it'll go.
So what's this guy saying? This has been one of the hardest summers in early fall I've ever had. Call dogs off at least 10 bears this year. There has been too many, and our season is way too short. What state are you?
I think he is Pennsylvania.
Are you having trouble calling them off of it? I mean, is that?
Or you're going out, and the dogs are running all over the place, treating bears everywhere. Bring some of them to Arizona. They killed my unit out. You know, I'm getting to the point where I'm like, do my dogs even smell a bear anymore? You know?
Well, I think Pennsylvania's got a guy up there. He's trying like crazy to get it shut down. I want to say one of his rules was really stupid. They wanted to keep the dogs on the leash at all times when they're hunting for them. And you can't do that.
California tried that during deer season. I think you had to have one person per dog on deer season before they shut it down in California. Mm-hmm. So if you had 5 dogs, you had to have 5 handlers. They just make it hard. I think they took away GPS too for a while. Like you weren't allowed to use GPS because it was cheating.
How's it cheating?
I don't know, because it takes them to the tree. Not like you can't hear them anyways. So
it's a tool. It's a tool we use to recover our dogs.
Well, that's, I learned more off that today. I watched my young dog, how he worked with the other dogs. So, I mean, I definitely don't help us catch a bear. It shows us that our dogs are trashing. I've learned more off I just talked about this Monday, I believe. 1 dog per tag, and you can run deer with dogs. I don't know how you can run deer with dogs. Deer ain't going to kill a dog like a bear is. And they have a lot of bears there. California. A lot of bears. So, anyway,
And they
I
tell
I
you,
learned more of what runs more than anything.
your mic is muted again. Your mic's muted.
You still
I
can't
got
hear
you.
me? Man,
I can hear you now.
So, yeah, I don't have enough. I don't have enough kids to run all the dogs I got. So, yep.
I just run with 3.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with anything over 5 by yourself.
I'm so used to it. We had 8 out today, but when I'm hunting, when we're not free casting, if I'm just hunting, and I'll let 2 off the rig, and I'll let 2 run it until I know what it is, and then if I think it's a bear, then I'll let down the other dogs. But I don't like a lot of dogs. I don't like a lot of dogs at the tree. It just gets crowded.
I don't mind mine being with a bunch of dogs as long as the other dogs are fine. But I just run my 3 together, and usually I can tell between the 3 exactly what's going on. If my old dog, if he hits on it and he keeps on going with it, then he's done checked out to over 500 yards. I know it's a bear, beyond a shadow of a doubt. And I know if my big girl, if he pulls off of it like real soon and she keeps going, I know it's a hog. And then I've got my little female, if she's always the one that tells me if it's cold track and when it gets jumped. Because when it's cold track, she's right there with them, but she's got the nose power of some I've ever seen. I've seen her jump from one side of the ridge to the other and get in front of them as they're cold trailing and jump it before they even get to it and just cut them off. And as soon as she does, it just total different ball game. She'll squall one time and then she never says a word till she's looking at it. But I mean that goes back to spending time with them. After you spend so much time with them, you learn these habits.
Knowing your dogs.
I'm a big fan of dropping the tailgate and just walking with them. I don't like the leash.
Yeah, I love free casting. I'm a free caster. I'll rig, but then I get real bored. And like today, I did a little rig around a mountain, and then we walked in. So on another side. Yeah, all them legal to hunt deer, hogs, coons, fox, squirrel, and all the other Norwood. But there's a lot of 300-pound coons that get treed. A lot of them. Oh, yeah. They're still catching bear over there. So
It'd be hard not to, honestly.
Oh yeah, you got bear dogs your whole life, and you're out there trying to run a raccoon, But those guys will come to Arizona though, and I knew a couple of them in another unit west of me, and they were murdering everything. They my cousin's friend, he was driving by those guys, and they said, "Hey, come shoot this bear," and it was a sow. So they didn't care. They were there for the week and they left. So you need to come over, show me how to do it. I'll follow. I'll let my dogs follow you to a tree. I'm not scared.
He'll even provide the mule.
Yeah. I got an old mule to ride. I got some range horses too, some BLM Mustangs and free casting. That's you just let your dogs go out and you kind of follow them around and let them run around and find something. Kind of like this podcast. I never know what we're going to talk about. Just let it go and we'll see where we end up. If every time we even on the Monday Night Live we have a subject, it blows out of the water and goes way another direction. So I've got to go in and leash up and give them out. Warden's trying to catch those guys every now and again. It's like running out of season in Arizona. I know a lot of people that run out of season, but there really is no out of season because in Arizona you can run coyotes, you know. So if you're running a coyote during the summer and it trees a bear or lion, oops, pull them off. You know, that's all you can do. What are they going to do about it? It's a really gray area. So, really gray area. And they try to catch them here.
Yeah, but it's not what you turn loose on. You can't help it. They cross one between here and there.
Oh, it ain't no different than I'm trashing on a coyote or a deer or, you know. It's not legal to run deer or elk here, but my dogs have.
And free casting to me is the best way to train a dog, especially if you can figure out exactly what they're doing. Because that's the biggest training step for me is trying to get them out. Because you're already trying to get them trained up to run a specific thing, and then you're going to turn back around and just let them go. You're going to have to let them go and make the mistakes.
Yeah, a lot of your lion guys don't want bear dogs, and a lot of your bear dogs don't want lion dogs. But if you're guiding specifically for bear, I understand that. Me, if I'm out bear hunting and I have a guide license, but like I said before, most of my clients are my clients from my private investigator agency. So it's not like I'm real hard in the.
You've muted again, buddy.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
God. It's going to drive me crazy. It's going to keep doing it too. It's a brand new mic. It's not the mic. I think it's my computer. My browser keeps kicking off my microphone. And I can't do nothing about it unless I restart the whole thing. So then you guys will be sitting there mad at me for about 5-10 minutes. And my luck, something will happen. But it's like an expensive microphone too. And I don't have another one, just this one. My laptop one sounds like crap. So anyway, what are we talking about? Cross training. Where's Brett? That's a lie. Brett's had microphone issues. He just has 4 or 5 microphones he can swap out. I don't. Yeah. So,
looks like a music studio half the time.
Yeah. Oh, you should see his setup. Computers all around him, all his editing stuff. Like he's hardcore into it. I know. I'm always texting Nicholas on Hound on the Run. I'm always texting like, what about that? He's the one that, hey, try this. So that's why I got this microphone. So probably gets tired of me asking.
If I'm lucky, I can make a reel on Facebook. And that's if I can remember to not get caught up in the moment.
This is the first time I've had microphone problems. It did it one other time, and I just didn't get a chance to lost him. He'll be back. There he is. You went away for a second. I lost microphone. You lost video.
It's all good.
He is rich. Can't compare, and he has like 40. He has like 17,000 subscribers now. He jumped real quick. And he'd just keep building. He's smarter than I am. I never claimed to be smart. So that's why I got Nick and Brett around. Can dogs cross train? Yeah, I use mine on both.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I've seen, and I don't know. I think you could do this if you really wanted to train. And I used to be in the Pinal County Sheriff's Office, and the search and rescue had dogs. So when you can take a hat, show it to a German Shepherd or a Labrador, and they know which smell to go after, if you really worked on your hounds, you could do the same thing. I always remember a Ben Lilly in the Ben Lilly book. He's
Your mic's dead again. Oh, Lord.
Can you hear me now?
There you are. Yep.
So Theodore Roosevelt lost his watch, and Ben Lilly rubbed his mule's nose, let his dog smell it, and followed him back till he found the watch. But I think Ben Lilly just tracked him back and made it look like his dog. He rubbed his nose and did it. I don't know. You know, it. I think you could possibly, like you could, if you put them on a bear track, they're going to chase that bear track. You know, if a lion track crosses it, are they going to jump? I don't know. What's hotter? You know, a lion jumps out in front of them. Are they going to chase it? Maybe. But I'll take a bear lion in a tree. Good day for me, either one.
I've had several times where I've trained pups for like coon hunting because my old dog will coon hunt, and they end up turning into a bear race. I mean, you can't really do much about it. If you're wanting to cross-train dogs, the one biggest thing that you need to remember, and I try to tell everybody this, there's a thing is too much discipline. You can overcorrect a dog too much to where they won't do it. You got to have some lenience. You got to let them be able to start a process with something and then end up migrating to that to where they're doing good, and then catch them when they start trashing and then put a stop to it. Because I've got,
we just talked about that. Too much discipline. Being careful with that love button on that shocker. Yeah.
I've got a female that she gets so into the race, it doesn't matter. I've watched her the other weekend go backwards. I was just like, and I knew it went backwards because we seen it cross and just turn them out of the box, and then just ended up. It was a train wreck. All of them did it backwards. All of them did. Don't know why. They just did. The dog's a dog at the end of the day. They're going to make mistakes. They're just like humans. And I've got two I can tone, and they will stop and lay down or come back. But her, she don't quit. She'll take it 100% whether she's right or wrong.
Yeah. What Brett was telling a story about how someone, or I don't know, I might have heard it somewhere else where it went off on a deer and came back. He says, "Aren't you mad he chased that deer?" And the old timer said, "No, I'm just mad she came back."
I don't get mad about that. Me, my most experienced dog, still to this day, he will strike a hog track out of a truck, and if I'm not too sure on it and the other two's not telling me much, I just don't know if it's a really old track or not. I'll just cut him down, and depending on how far he goes, lets me know what it is. Because I've seen him do it several times. I've made the mistake of putting dogs in behind it, and they'll hit the hog track and go on with it, and I've had to stop them. But that's my fault. I made a mistake. But he's the one that let me know. If you just be patient with it, you can always know if they're going to do wrong. I don't get mad when my dogs will run a track like that and come back because they know it was wrong and they came back and showed it to me that they were wrong. If they continue on trash, that's when I can usually get upset. And sometimes it don't hurt to even try it. Like if they want to, or if like you got them out free casting or whatever and you catch them doing it wrong, I mean, then's a good time to teach them a lesson. Like we don't run deer. We're not treeing possums. We're not doing that. That's not what I want.
Well, when you're free casting with them, when you're rigging and letting off and they're going off and you're letting them all out of the box and you don't know your dogs, you don't know what they're chasing sometimes. You hope
No.
they're chasing good. Even so when you have your older dog out there trailing, I just had this happen to me on last weekend. I found a lion track in the road. I put my 2 lion dogs down, well, better lion dogs down on it. And I got them to run this track, took them all, lined it out. They lined it out. My yucky dog is young. He hadn't been on as many lion. He hadn't been on a lot of lion. He's been on a lot of bear. He broke his rig rack, his chain, and 150 miles an hour, screaming like a banshee, and just I seen him on the GPS. He hit them and drug those dogs. He passed them. So the other dogs are like, oh, he has it. You know what I mean? I'm going to go. It's like if you're out hunting on and your buddy starts shooting at a ridge over there, you're going to look over there for the deer you're hunting because you think he might be shooting a coyote, and it just happens. And he did. He ruined my hunt. I couldn't be mad. He just got excited, but if you're there to watch them and you're working in there and you're free casting and you do see the deer or the track and that old pup goes over there, you could verbally tell him no. Hey, no. And then if you don't listen, you do the little tone. I'm real gentle. I don't like shocking unless I absolutely have to. I don't like it. I did have to do it on the rig box. We had a conversation about that Monday too. But my yucky dog's been on enough bear that he knows that deer he's looking at, barking at, is a no-no. And he did. He rigged on it, and he barked at it. It was right there. So I buzzed him, But he'll still rig again. He'll still rig. There was 3 times he did that on deer. But I haven't had him on the rig as much as I've had him on the ground in the desert, looking for lion. But now, the 3rd time we seen those deer, he didn't even bark. He knew better. But then when Aderney was rigging again, he rigged. He still rigged. So he knew better. Now, a puppy, I don't suggest shocking him off the box or in the box. I have a little 8-month-old that runs around in the box, kind of back and forth barking. And I know when there's a squirrel because he'll bark. And I'll look around and there will be a squirrel. But I don't. He's too young. I just let him hunt. You know what I mean? So, but that's just how I do it.
Puppies are hard to break off that. I mean, they get excited. They're going to bark. Once they get excited right around the box and stuff, they ain't never going to quit. Eventually, they will just stop when that tall tail dog lets you know, and then they realize, oh, now we're getting out, and then they go on with it and they start learning, then the picture starts falling into place.
That's a fact. And I've always, the guy I got this line off always told me, let them run rabbit. See, I have the luxury of letting them run in my yard, like till they're 3-4 months. I have the luxury of letting them run in my yard till my neighbors literally call me and say, hey, you have hound puppies because they're in the road. And I got to go get them, and then I got to put them on the chain. And that's when I chain break them. And it's usually around 4 months is when they start wandering where they shouldn't. So they get to chase rabbits and whatever. I have cats around here, people's cats. I've had my neighbor call me saying, your puppies, they were 8 weeks old. Your puppies are in my house. It's so cute. They're treating my cat. That's a proud dad moment. And I'm like, yeah, wait till they're 4 or 5 months old. They're not going to just want to tree that cat. They're going to eat that cat. I've had cats run around here, and it's the best just to have a barn cat. Every time I go down valley, I trap one in my dad's house. I got pack rats and mice here in my place. I drop them barn cats in my shop, and those puppies will run around until they find it, and they'll tree it. Sooner or later, they'll see it run across the yard, and they'll go chase it. But it's natural instinct. So all these animal activists that say you're making your dogs do something. I tried to record this. I was down picking up alfalfa for my mules way down valley in Phoenix. And the guy has some workers that live on his farm, and they have a bunch of mutt dogs, and they're running around his tractor pile chasing stuff, like hardcore hunting. And those aren't dogs that are trained for hunting. That's a natural instinct on just a dog. just a dog wanting to hunt. That's what they do. They're predators. So these animal activists that are all whiny baby about it, that you're not making a dog do nothing. I could take their foofy Shih Tzu, poodle, whatever, go run them with me for just a few weeks, and them little crap dogs will want to chase something. Guaranteed.
True story. My oldest female, I got her at 3 years old. Never been hunted. I got with her because the guy I got my dogs from, he had her, and he got to the point where he's hoping his health would get better where he could hunt her. He bred these dogs for a while, and he ended up not being able to hunt her, so he wanted me to come get her. I said, well, I don't know. I mean, she's a little older. I want a pup, something I can actually work with is really what I'm looking for. But the next one I'm looking for, actually just a male dog. And he ended up calling me one day, and he says, if she ever comes back, you're going to have to come get her. I said, why? He said, that bear's come back into my house and stole my trash. And she will break horse lead snaps and go after them. He said, she does not care for coons. She wants bear. And he says, I want you to come get her. And it was about 3 days, and she come back, and I went down there and picked her up. I said, I'll try her and see. He said, worst case scenario, just bring her back. And honestly, she's been a uphill battle, but she's by far, I mean, she's turned into my best dog. I've got her to the point now I can drop her on the ground and let her go, and she'll go find me one. And she gets better and better every time I turn her out. Occasional mistake every now and then. But you take a 3-year-old dog that's never been hunted, something like that comes into your yard, and it's like you're saying, they want to do this. She chose to do that because she wanted to. And I really didn't want her that much. But I ended up with her. And she's 4 now.
Some of them dogs that I have my little pup I have Ben and Bella. Bella's in heat right now. Came in really early, like 9 months, 8 months. But Ben, I've been running him, and I said, I'm just let him down. What's he gonna do? Run off? I'll either lose him on GPS, someone will call the caller, whatever. And that dog has his nose to the ground 100% of the time. 100% of the time. You just got to let him hunt. I want to do a documentary. I want to go to the pound. I'd have to do it. I can't just go to the pound and say, give me 5 dogs so I can hunt them. I would love to go to the pound, pick out 5 dogs. I don't care I'll get a poodle, a Pomeranian, a dog, whatever, a Dalmatian. I want to get 5 dogs, make sure they get along, get on my mule, go out for 10 days and see at the end of 10 days how good of hunters those dogs would be just on chasing stuff, just hunting. Let them hunt, I guarantee if you're cross country and you're going to run across a bear, lion, coyote, whatever, and those dogs are going to instinctively start going back to what they were supposed to do. Yep. I mean, even a dachshund was used for something. Badger hunting, every dog that has a breed was used for something before the show people came around and ruined everything. I'm not a fan of papers. I'm not a fan of UKC, AKC, I used to be real hard in bird dogs, Labradors, and there's no such thing as a silver lab, a black and tan lab. There's yellow, black, and chocolate. There's not silver, white, like all this stuff. Labs aren't supposed to have white on their chest. I mean, it's just crazy what they get away with these days. My buddy sent me a picture of a black and tan. I said, what is that? He's a lab. That ain't no Labrador. Yeah, they said it has papers. It's a black and tan Labrador. I'm like, what? It just blew my mind. AKC registered, all this UKC, whatever it was. It drives me crazy. But my best dogs have been my accident dogs. I've gotten dogs off the reservation, no lie, that you could have that big curl tail, pointing like ugly. And it did really good, really good. But every dog. Ben Lilly. My grandpa used to go to the pound and buy deer. Ben Lilly used to go to the pound and get dogs. You put any dog with a dog that hunts, the dog's going to hunt. You put any 18-year-old with a 30-year-old carpenter, He's going to learn how to be a carpenter. Plain and simple. That's all I got to say about that. You can get any dog to hunt. I don't care if it's red, brown, black and tan, blue. You know what I mean? A plot, even a plot. I'll even go as far as say a plot can hunt. I'll probably make a lot of people mad with that. I've never owned a plot. You know, I just never had maybe the opportunity. I've never owned a plot.
I like my blue dogs pretty good. Next to that's a plot, but I'm very picky on both. I can't. Some of your plot breeds, they are a little bit more aggressive than most, and I don't really like it. And sometimes they won't fight at a tree or whatever. I mean, they're German dogs. So, I mean, what do you really expect? But, I mean, other than that, I mean, they're all the ones like Buddy I hunt with, that's all he has is plots. And some of them's got a little bit of red tick in them from way back when he was out west. But even then, he was a diehard red tick fan to begin with. But every time I've hunted with his dogs, they've always been nice to mine. I never had any problems. He's got one. He went opening day. It's funny because his dog is 13 years old, and she went out and treated like a 300-pound bear by herself.
It happens all the time, you know. 13. I had a 15-year-old dog, and at 14, I pulled her and kept her at the truck until they treed. But she would still make a race. I just didn't want to have to carry her back, you know. I always loved blue dogs. I grew up wanting blue dogs. That's what I wanted. And I ended up, I had a buddy back in the 90s give me some Bam Bam walkers. So I was dry grounding with this guy for a while. And then I got divorced, got rid of them. 2005, got some more. And the line I got is really crossed up. Like there's everything in it. I could breed 2 of my walker looking pups and, a red tick will pop out. Or you'll see some black and tan in there. So, but honestly, I don't like red bones. I got a red bone. He's doing great. I don't like him sometimes. I'm not a big black and tan fan. It's just a color preference, I think, for most people. You know, you just grow up driving a Ford. Your daddy drives a Ford. You're going to have a Ford. So, but all my dogs are mutts. You know, I got, this probably make a lot of people mad too, call me backyard breeder, and everybody say, we got to breed for trait. I think you just got to breed and see what you get out of that line. I have a dog right now that won't run line. It runs line a little bit. It'll not real aggressive on line. It's just not a good dog. And I got it from a biologist. And he's like, try it on bear. She's like, I don't want a bear. I had an accidental breeding. She had gotten off, or she got out of the pen. I breed her every time she comes in the dirty. She only has 2 to 4 pups. Yesterday or Sunday on my bear tree, her first breed I had with her, I have Cecilia and Lucy, treeing suckers, run with the dogs, trail like they're just have none of her bad traits. They have all dirty traits. You know, the second litter is Ben and Bella. Ben is putting his nose down like you would not believe. He made a race Sunday, made it to the tree, not real good on treeing yet, but he was smelling that tree and he's kind of like, what's going on? There's 10 dogs here running around and he's just running around like a puppy. He's a puppy. So, and then I have Morozny and Halado, and they're young. They're not even 6 months, and they want to run with the big dogs, but that's out of that female. And I just believe that the male has a dominant trait on that breeding. And I hadn't had a bad dog yet out of her. She's not the greatest, but just that cross, I've had good dogs, really good dogs. Man, Cecilia's her and Lucy tree like crazy. So, no papers, mutts, rowdy houndsmen. All of my dogs are mutts. So, yeah. Oh, fighting dogs, fighting dogs. Let me tell you something. I have Yucky's my red bone. His dad is dirty, so he was a real good. I've never had a fight out of this dog until this year at the hound trials. He got jumped 2 or 3 times by different dogs, and it got him where he started fighting dogs he didn't know at the tree. My son's dogs. We treated a bear a couple weeks ago. My son's dogs came in and he jumped on them. I was there, and I can buzz that guy. I can high as you can for as long as you can, and he'll still go to the tree and tree. Sunday, I had somebody hunting with me. His sister, I don't know why. His sister does not like him, and that guy has his sister, and it kept jumping on him. And that was one of the dogs at the hound trials that jumped on him. I kind of had to tell this guy, like, hey, might not be able to bring that dog to the tree no more. Like, I'm trying to get him out of that. I think he'll come out of it. I'm hoping, but this is where it goes to the whole people keeping dogs. And this guy that hunts with me, he was a client and he got into dogs. I warned him not to get into dogs. I told him he's stupid if he got into dogs. Told him just come hunt with me. If you wanted to have a dog, you could pick a dog. I don't care. Well, a typical new guy, everybody starts giving him dogs. So he has 5 dogs that he's trying to train. You know what I mean? So they just get into it and they learn. It's a learning lesson. You know what I mean? But culling. People are afraid to say the word, whether you cull it behind the shed, whether you cull it to your neighbor, or you cull it to the animal society, whatever you do. You keep them dogs around and they're just going to ruin your other dogs. And people are very sentimental about some. You can't be very sentimental in this because you could go out and lose your whole pack under a tree. And I'm not saying you're not going to cry about it. If I lost my dog, when I lose it, I've been really lucky and not lost a dog to like a bear or lion. So they fell off cliffs and died a week later, because they had some injuries. But I've never had that bad of a bear fight. Almost, but culling, very important, honestly.
And it is. I had a dog that got given to me, and I tried him out because apparently he went and treed bear by himself, and they talked like he was the greatest thing on 4 legs. And I took him out, and I tried, I doctored him up, and then I ended up running him for a little bit. And what killed me is I took him out with a new set of dogs that I knew were bear dogs. And I left all mine at home. And I said, I'm going to try him out. I said, I'm going to make sure that he's going to go out and want to do this. If he doesn't, then it's just not a good fit. I took him out, and he did all right. He done really decent for the most part. Just learned. It's probably like his 7th or 8th time out hunting. And then we ended up, I said, okay, well, I'm going to go in a couple days. I'm going to take all my dogs. So I took them all out, and he ended up running in, and they jumped it because I was walking up the trail. And sure enough, as soon as they jumped it, I heard my old dog sound off because he was looking at it. Turned around, and that other dog runs straight back to the truck. Well, my old dog went and ran it by himself. And when I got him back, my old dog was cut on the arm all the way across and still had it treated. And that right there was it for me. I'm not going to have something in my pack that's going to be harmful to everyone else. I mean, that's like you have that one friend every time you go out with him in your group or whatever, it causes trouble. You don't need that in your life. Your dogs don't need that. You at least owe that to them to know that they're going to have someone there that's going to be there with them. These 3 I've got now, if any of them decide they say, hey, let's jump on it and see what happens if we got it bait up, they're going to jump in there with them if something happens. Or if it turns around and grabs one of them, they're going to help get it off of them. I mean, it ain't no different. You want them to have each other's back. I mean, you can't have dogs that are just going to let anything happen to it. Sit there and bay at it while it's to shreds.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, well, Molly just where's Molly go? Where'd she go? So you're saying you could take, especially in the snow. I'll just throw that out there. You could take any dog and they'll run. Will they have a great nose? Will they trail it like a hound? Will they tree it like a hound? I don't know. I see lots of people with just healers or just a mutt dog running with them that will be at the tree and just barking and going crazy just like another dog. Labs, there's labs at the coon trial. There's a golden retriever at the coon trials that will do the water race. Someone brought some little nasty Jack Russell sons of guns fast, but they would do the coon drag. They were so fast they'd run right by the tree. Didn't even try to tree. They were just running. If they would get those dogs a tree, they would smoke every dog there. But even like George says, Luke on Mountain Music and Mules, that little mountain heist he has puts up more bears because he's faster. So when the dogs are running in trail, that he'll blow right by him and bite that bear in the butt and get the bear up a tree. So
Another thing too, he's fast and he's quiet.
yeah, that's it.
He does. That is the biggest key. If you can get like a 35-pound dog that can handle hot weather, cold weather, or whatever, that is quick and quiet on a track, your races don't last long unless it's a mean bear. Then at that point, I mean, you can only do what you can. I know where he's coming from.
Oh yeah. I bred some Catahoula of mine. And I call her Cruella. She has like half a black face and blue eyes. She's quick, really quick, and she's not loud at all. So when they're running, she can get ahead of them. Yucky is fast. He's the fastest dog I've ever seen in my life. He's just kind of dumb. He likes to hunt. He has the heart to hunt. You don't have the brain to hunt sometimes. He has the heart. He'll tree all day. That bear we caught a couple of weeks ago, I'm watching GPS. I'm like, what are they doing? And then I'm getting mad at him. I said, what is he doing? You know, I have my two older bear dogs going off, and I have him doing something, going around a mountain. I'm like, I don't shock them because I don't know what they're doing. You know what I mean? If I really know they're done, I'll tone them back. I didn't. I just kind of watched him, and then he gets to a spot and he stands there. I'm like, what are you doing? And it's not showing treat because he's running around. I'm like, what are you? And then my other dogs come back and then they're all treed. I'm like, oh, there you go. And then the other two dogs left. This was a really small bear, probably 60 to 80 pounds. I think they split race and the sow, I think the cub ran off. Dirty or Yucky chased that cub, treed it, and the sow took off. Drug the other two dogs with it. And then the other dogs heard him treed, came back, and they said, wow, there's another bear here. They left and then came back again. But he had it treed by himself, you know. But I Westy is. I had dogs running the trail. He was 400. They were 500 yards out. Every update, every 5 seconds, 100 yards, 100 yards, 100. I mean, he's just fast. But he gets there. And they're going this way, and he decides he's just going to take the back trail. I'm like, what are you doing? You can hear him barking. He just does some weird stuff. But he's a hunting fool. You know, he puts his nose down and he hunts. So good enough in my book. And he treated bear by himself, you know. So, but I'm also with Warner Glenn. I don't know if you know who that is. The guy, you know, he's 85-year-old hound guy over here in Arizona. He says never cold. He keeps dogs 3 or 4 years. He says you don't never know. You never know that them dogs will just. And if you can do it, and you think they're going to do it, I think he said he had dogs at 3 or 4 years old that just woke up one day and said, "That's a lion. I'm gonna go get it." And he's dry ground, you know. So that's a tough gig. Dry ground lion hunting's a tough gig. So. I've always wondered how a cross of dachshunds and Feist would turn out as a dry ground dog. Feist are small enough. Then you shorten their legs up. unless they elongated the dachshund's legs, get him to run. Dash hound, whatever they call him. Cross him. Let me know, Rowdy. I'm gonna try my mini border collie hound mix. So we'll see how that works out. And this is no lie. One time my Chihuahua got in with this female, same female. She lays down. And my Chihuahua would jump on her back and slide down to breed her. Never could do it. He could never breed a dog in 10 years. 1 year, he bred my Vodka dog. And everybody wanted one for a squirrel dog because they were really small with big ears. They were ugly. But the ugliest dog makes the best ones. Let's see.
I got word taker. Looks like she's full bloodhound, honestly.
You know, the bloodhounds are so slow, but I'd like to find a bloodhound and breed back and put that, nose back in for dry ground, I think. I had a bloodhound red tick I got from the dog pound. We put a little scent on a rag and we walked through and he opened up. So I bought him for $50. This damn dog, I took him down to dry ground and this dog would try to run a 3-day-old track. I caught him. Me and my buddy caught him trying to run old track. Every track, he'd go to every track, smell it, and keep trying to go. Really, too cold. But he'd run them. You get him on a hot track and he'd go. So, dude, what's Rowdy? I've been trying to get a hold of some feists from a friend in Florida. Them mountain feists are hard to get a hold of. I don't think they have none in Arizona. And everybody goes to that Jag Terrier too. I know Elizabeth has some Jag Terriers, or had some. She uses hers. I've seen her tree a bear like crazy. So,
and they're mean little things. Mike is out again.
Long time that time. Lasted a while. I unplugged it a couple of times while you were talking just to make sure it kept resetting itself. But no, my Chihuahua, he was a mean little bastard. He would run with my dogs. He would heel my horses, my cows, my pigs. Like he would get his ass whipped by my hounds. I have a trailer I put him in the breed, and he could fit the little rails. And I've had to put the boots to my hound to get him out of his mouth because he was eating them. Like he was, and he didn't care. He was a 300-pound Chihuahua if you asked him. Cross Blue takes bloodhound. I knew a guy in Arizona that ran all the bloodhound programs. He had some good dogs. He crossed them too and ran lions. Really. What is a friend? I was going to give me a female in LA. Long drive. What is a French bloodhound? Are they smaller? Bloodhounds are so slow, but they got the noses for sure. So
probably bred with them foxhounds or whatever.
Maybe. Well, anything else you want to throw out there? It's been an hour. Probably boring these people to death.
I don't know.
The animal activists are going to keep coming after us. Should have manners. Pay attention to your dogs. It's not that hard. And I know some people don't have time. You know, you can only do it on the weekends, but just getting home from work and go running them down a creek, or I got an old railroad track here that I run them down. So just got to spend time with them too. You can't just go dump food and walk away and then take them out on the weekend and expect them to work for you.
Exactly.
So,
Okay.
yep.
I believe I'm done. I'm gonna get ready to go to bed. I gotta go to work in the morning.
Yeah. What is it over there? 9:00, almost 9:30.
Yep.
Well, thanks for coming on, giving us your 2 cents.
All right, buddy.
All righty. We'll talk at you later. Bryson Parker from North Carolina, I believe. Maybe South. I think he said North. I don't remember nothing. I'll remember a face. I just won't remember nothing else. Well, I'm glad Louisiana Hunting, I'm going to get you on next week. Send me an email. I think you might. Send me an email with your number. There's my email. It's not that hard. We'll get you on. And all you got to do is have some internet, a phone, or a computer. Hopefully your mic works better than mine. I'll reset all my stuff next week. And I am glad everybody got on. I hope we gave you some sort of information or entertainment or something to talk crap about to the people. If you guys have anything you hopefully you guys can hear me again. I'm going to jump off here before I smash my computer because my browser keeps kicking it off my microphone. I don't know why. But thanks everybody for coming and listening and giving their 2 cents. And we will see you Monday next week on Brett's channel, Interviews, Stories, and Tell. I think he's going to host it again. And I will see you next Wednesday unless I'm hunting. But I shouldn't be. I'll try to get back here in time. So everybody have a good night. Send me an email if you have anything to say about it. Watch my videos. But I got to say, have a good night. Take care. Hope everybody see you next week. Hope everybody comes back.